Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. Today we have a very special topic. My name is Julia, and I am here with my friend John. How are you today, John? I hope you are feeling good and ready for a nice conversation. Today's topic is very important for all of us. It is about water. Yes, water. We drink it every day, but we do not always think about it. I think this topic will help us understand why water is so important in our life. Let's start our conversation now and learn many new and interesting things together, okay?
Hi, Julia. I am doing great today. Thank you for asking. I am very happy to talk about water. This is a topic I really like because water is part of our life every single day. We drink it, we cook with it, we wash with it, and plants need it too. Without water, nothing can live on our planet. I think many people forget how important water really is. Today, I want to share some simple facts and ideas with our listeners. I hope everyone learns something new and starts to think more about water. Let's begin, Julia.
Great. Let's start with a simple question. John, why do you think water is so important for our body? I know our body needs water every day, but can you explain it in an easy way? I think many beginners listening to us want a simple answer. Water helps our body work well. It helps our blood move, it helps our brain think, and it helps us stay cool when it is hot outside. Without enough water, we can feel tired, weak, or even sick. So drinking water is not just a habit, it is something our body really needs to stay healthy and strong every day.
That's a very good question, Julia. Our body is made mostly of water. In fact, more than half of our body is water. That is why we need to drink water every day. If we do not drink enough water, we can get headaches, feel tired, or have trouble thinking clearly. Doctors say we should drink about 8 glasses of water every day. Of course, this can change depending on the weather, our activity, and our body size. I always try to carry a water bottle with me. It's a simple habit, but it makes a big difference for my health.
I also try to drink water often, but sometimes I forget. I think many people forget to drink water because they are busy with work or study. Do you have any tips for remembering to drink more water, John? I think our listeners would love some simple tips. For example, I put a water bottle on my desk every morning. When I see it, I remember to drink. I also drink a glass of water when I wake up and before every meal. These small habits help me a lot. What about you? Do you have any special tricks to drink more water every day?
Yes, I have a few tricks. First, I use an app on my phone. It sends me a small message every hour to remind me to drink water. Second, I always keep a water bottle in my bag. This way, water is always near me. Third, I try to drink water instead of sugary drinks like soda. Water is much better for our health. Also, if you don't like plain water, you can add a little lemon or mint. This makes the water taste fresh and nice. These small changes can really help people drink more water every single day without much effort.
Those are really helpful tips, John. Now, let's talk about water in nature. We know rivers, lakes, and oceans are full of water, but why is this water so important for our planet? I think many people know water is important, but they don't think about where it comes from. Rivers bring fresh water to towns and cities. Lakes give water to animals and plants. Oceans control our weather and give us food like fish. Without these natural water sources, life on Earth would be very different. I think we should protect these places because they give us so much.
You are right, Julia. Nature gives us water for free, but we must take care of it. Many rivers and lakes today are polluted because of factories, plastic, and chemicals. This is very sad because clean water is needed for people, animals, and plants. When water becomes dirty, fish and other animals can get sick or die. Also, people who drink dirty water can become very sick too. This is why many countries are working to clean their rivers and oceans. I think everyone can help too, even in small ways, like not throwing trash into rivers or the sea.
That's true, John. Even small actions can help protect water. For example, we can stop using too much plastic, because plastic often ends up in the ocean. We can also save water at home by turning off the tap when we brush our teeth. Many people leave the water running without thinking about it. This wastes a lot of water every day. I think if everyone makes small changes, together we can save a lot of water for the future. Do you have other simple ideas that people can use at home to save water and help the environment?
Yes, there are many simple ways to save water at home. First, we can fix leaking taps because a small leak can waste a lot of water over time. Second, we can take shorter showers instead of long baths. Third, we can use a bucket to collect rainwater for plants instead of using tap water. Also, when washing dishes or clothes, it's better to use a full load instead of small loads many times. These habits may seem small, but they really help save water. I think schools should also teach children about these easy habits from a young age.
I completely agree, John. Teaching children about water is very important. When children learn to save water early, they grow up with good habits. I remember when I was a child, my mother always told me to turn off the tap. At that time, I didn't understand why, but now I understand it very well. Water is a limited resource, and if we don't use it wisely, future generations may not have enough clean water. I think parents and teachers both play a big role in teaching children the value of water and how to protect it every day.
That's a wonderful point, Julia. Education really makes a difference. I also think governments should help by building better water systems in cities and villages. In some places, people still do not have clean water to drink. This is very hard for their daily life. They must walk long distances just to get water. I think everyone deserves clean and safe water, no matter where they live. Organizations around the world are working hard to bring clean water to these areas. I believe this is one of the most important goals for making life better for many people today.
Yes, clean water for everyone is very important. I read that some children walk many hours every day just to bring water to their family. This makes it hard for them to go to school. If they had clean water near their home, they could spend more time learning and playing instead. I think this shows us how lucky we are to have water so easily at home. We should never waste it because many people in the world do not have this simple thing that we sometimes take for granted every single day of our lives.
That is a very important point, Julia. We should always be thankful for clean water. I think traveling and learning about other countries helps us understand this better. When I traveled to a small village once, I saw how people used water very carefully. They collected rainwater and used every drop wisely. It really changed how I think about water at home. Since then, I try to be more careful too. I turn off the tap quickly, and I try not to waste food because growing food also uses a lot of water. Every choice we make matters.
That's very true, John. I didn't know that growing food uses so much water. Can you explain a little more about this? I think our listeners would find this very interesting. For example, how much water does it take to grow simple foods like rice or vegetables? I think many people don't realize that food and water are connected in this way. When we understand this, maybe we will think more carefully about how much food we buy and eat. Wasting food also means wasting water, and that is something we should try to avoid as much as possible.
Great question, Julia. Growing food really does need a lot of water. For example, rice needs a lot of water to grow well, especially in the early stages. Vegetables and fruits also need water every day to grow healthy and strong. Even meat production uses a lot of water because animals need water and food to grow too. This is why some people say eating less meat can help save water. I'm not saying we must stop eating meat, but understanding this can help us make better choices. Every food choice we make has an effect on water use.
That's very interesting, John. I never thought about food and water this way before. I think today's conversation is really opening my eyes to how connected everything is. Water touches almost every part of our life, from drinking to cooking to growing food to nature and animals. It really shows how important it is to protect and respect water. I hope our listeners are learning as much as I am today. Let's continue talking about more ways water is important, because I think there is still so much more we can share with everyone listening to us today.
I agree, Julia. Water really connects everything around us. Let's talk about water and health a little more. Doctors say drinking enough water helps our skin look healthy too. When we don't drink enough water, our skin can become dry. Water also helps our body remove waste and toxins. It helps our kidneys work properly. Many people don't realize that headaches or feeling tired can sometimes be caused by not drinking enough water. So, the next time you feel tired during the day, try drinking a glass of water first. It might help more than you expect, and it's very simple.
That's a great tip, John. I will remember that next time I feel tired. I also read that drinking water can help us focus better when studying or working. Our brain needs water to work well. If we don't drink enough, it can be harder to think clearly or remember things. This is very important for students. I think schools should remind students to drink water during class, especially during exams. Simple things like this can really help students do better. It's amazing how something as simple as water can affect so many parts of our daily life and health.
Yes, water and the brain are closely connected. I remember reading that even a small amount of dehydration can affect our mood, too. When we don't drink enough water, we can feel more tired, stressed, or even a little angry without knowing why. Drinking water regularly can help us feel calmer and more focused. I think this is something many people don't know. It shows that taking care of our water habits is not just about physical health, but also about our mental health and feelings. Small daily habits really do make a big difference in how we feel every day.
That's such an important point, John. Mental health is just as important as physical health, and it's amazing that water can help with both. I think we should also talk about sports and water. Athletes drink a lot of water, especially during exercise. When we sweat, our body loses water, so we need to drink more to stay healthy. I always bring a water bottle when I exercise or go for a walk. It's very important, especially on hot days. I think this is a simple habit that everyone, not just athletes, should follow when they are being active outside.
Absolutely, Julia. Staying hydrated during exercise is very important. When our body loses too much water through sweat, we can feel dizzy or weak. This can even be dangerous in very hot weather. That's why sports players always have water bottles nearby during games. I think this shows how water is important in every part of life, not just at home, but also during sports, work, and travel. I always tell my friends to drink water before, during, and after exercise. It helps our muscles work better and helps us recover faster after physical activity. Water really supports our whole body.
I love how we are covering so many areas today, John. From health to nature to sports, water really is everywhere in our life. Let's talk about water in cooking now. I think cooking is something everyone can relate to. We use water to boil pasta, cook rice, make soup, and clean vegetables. Even coffee and tea need water. I never really thought about how much water we use in the kitchen every day until we started this conversation. It makes me want to be more careful, like using less water when washing dishes, or reusing water for plants sometimes.
That's a great idea, Julia. Reusing water is a smart habit. For example, water used to wash vegetables can be used again to water plants. This way we don't waste water unnecessarily. In the kitchen, we can also save water by not letting the tap run while washing dishes. Instead, we can fill a bowl with water and use that. These small changes can add up to save a lot of water over time. I think many people don't realize how much water they use daily until they start paying attention. Awareness is really the first step to change.
Yes, awareness is very important. I think this podcast can help people become more aware of their water use. Sometimes we don't think about it because water comes so easily from the tap. But every drop matters, especially for people who don't have easy access to clean water. I hope our listeners start thinking more about their daily water habits after listening to us today. Even small changes, like turning off the tap or fixing a leak, can make a real difference over time. Let's continue talking about more ways we can protect and appreciate water in our lives.
Definitely, Julia. Let's also talk about water and travel. When people travel to hot countries, they need to drink more water because of the heat. I remember traveling to a very hot place once, and I had to drink water constantly to stay healthy. It's important to always carry water when traveling, especially outdoors. Also, in some countries, tap water is not safe to drink, so travelers need to buy bottled water or use water filters. This shows how access to clean water is different around the world, and travelers should always be prepared and careful about their water source.
That's a good point, John. I always research water safety before traveling to a new country. It's important to know if the tap water is safe or not. I also carry a reusable water bottle with a filter sometimes, so I can drink safely without buying too much plastic bottled water. This helps reduce plastic waste, too. I think being a responsible traveler means thinking about these small details. It's not just about enjoying the trip, but also about being mindful of resources like water, especially in places where clean water may not be easily available to everyone.
That's very responsible of you, Julia. Being mindful while traveling really matters. I also think about the local community when I travel. Sometimes hotels use a lot of water for pools and gardens, while nearby communities may struggle to get clean water. This is something travelers should think about. Choosing eco-friendly places to stay can help support better water use in the area. I believe more people are starting to care about this kind of responsible travel now, which is a really positive change. It shows that people are beginning to understand how important water really is worldwide.
I agree, John. It's nice to see more people caring about the environment and water conservation these days. Let's talk about something a little different now: water and animals. Animals also need clean water to survive, just like humans. Wild animals often travel long distances to find water, especially during dry seasons. When rivers or lakes dry up, it becomes very difficult for animals to find food and water. This can be very dangerous for wildlife. I think protecting natural water sources is not just important for humans, but also for all the animals that depend on them to live.
That's true, Julia. Animals really depend on water just as much as we do. I remember watching a documentary about elephants walking very far to find water during a dry season. It was sad to see how hard it was for them. This shows how climate change and water shortages affect animals too, not just people. I think protecting forests, rivers, and lakes helps keep the balance of nature. When we take care of water sources, we are also helping to protect wildlife and their homes. Everything in nature is connected, and water is at the center of it all.
That's beautifully said, John. Everything really is connected through water. I think this conversation shows just how important it is for all of us to care about water, not just for ourselves, but for animals, plants, and future generations too. Let's talk a little about water shortages now. I've heard that some places in the world are experiencing serious water shortages. Can you explain a bit more about why this happens? I think it's important for our listeners to understand the real challenges some communities face when it comes to finding and using clean water every single day.
Sure, Julia. Water shortages can happen for many reasons. Sometimes it's because of low rainfall, especially in areas with dry climates. Climate change is also making some areas drier than before. Population growth is another reason, because more people need more water for daily life, farming, and industry. In some places, water systems are old or not managed well, causing water to be wasted. When there isn't enough water, it becomes harder for people to farm, cook, clean, and stay healthy. This is why many organizations are working to find better ways to manage and share water resources fairly.
That sounds really challenging, John. I think it's amazing that there are organizations working to help solve these problems. What kind of solutions are they using to help places with water shortages? I think it would be helpful for our listeners to know some positive examples too, not just the problems. Sometimes hearing about solutions gives people hope and ideas on how they can help too, even in small ways. I believe learning about these solutions can inspire more people to support projects that bring clean water to communities that really need it around the world.
That's a great point, Julia. There are many solutions being used today. Some organizations build wells so communities can access clean underground water. Others create water filters that are simple and affordable, which remove dirt and bacteria from water. Some places use solar-powered water pumps, which use sunlight to bring water from underground to the surface. Rainwater harvesting is another solution, where people collect and store rainwater for later use. These solutions help communities become more independent and reduce their need to travel far for clean water. I think supporting these projects can make a big difference for many people.
Those solutions sound really helpful, John. I think it's wonderful that technology and simple ideas can work together to solve big problems like water shortages. I hope more people learn about these solutions and support them, even in small ways, like donating or spreading awareness. I think our podcast today is helping to spread awareness too, which makes me happy. Let's move on and talk about something everyone can do at home to help with water conservation. What are some easy habits people can start today, right after listening to our podcast, to use water more wisely?
Great idea, Julia. Let's give our listeners some simple, easy steps. First, turn off the tap while brushing your teeth or washing your hands. Second, take shorter showers instead of long baths. Third, fix any leaking taps at home as soon as possible. Fourth, only run the washing machine or dishwasher when it's full. Fifth, water your plants early in the morning or late in the evening so less water evaporates in the sun. These are small, simple changes, but if many people do them together, it can really help save a lot of water for our planet.
Those are wonderful tips, John. I think everyone listening today can try at least one of these habits this week. I also want to add one more tip. Try to buy less bottled water and use a reusable bottle instead. This helps reduce plastic waste, which often ends up polluting rivers and oceans. I think small daily choices really do add up over time. I hope our listeners feel inspired today to think more carefully about their water use and to share these tips with their family and friends too, so more people can learn together.
I completely agree, Julia. Sharing knowledge with others is one of the best ways to create change. I think today's conversation really shows how important water is in every part of our life. Our health, our food, our nature, our animals, and our daily habits. Water truly is life, just like our topic says today. I hope everyone listening feels more thankful for the water they have and more motivated to protect it for the future. I really enjoyed talking about this topic with you today, Julia. It's such an important subject for everyone around the world to understand.
I really enjoyed this conversation too, John. I think we covered so many interesting points today, from health and nature to food, animals, and simple daily habits. I hope our listeners learned a lot and feel inspired to make small changes in their own lives. Water really is one of the most precious things we have, and we should never take it for granted. Before we finish, do you have any final thoughts you would like to share with our listeners today about the importance of water and why we should all care about protecting it every day?
Yes, Julia. My final thought is simple. Water is a gift, and we should treat it that way. Every glass of water we drink, every shower we take, and every plant we water is a reminder of how important this resource is. I hope everyone listening today starts with just one small habit this week, like turning off the tap or drinking more water. Small actions really do matter. Thank you to everyone who joined us today. We hope you learned something new and feel more connected to the importance of water in our everyday lives.
Thank you, John, for those wonderful final words. And thank you to all our listeners for joining us today on this important topic. Water is life. We hope you enjoyed our conversation and learned some new and simple ways to appreciate and protect water. Remember, every small action counts, and together we can make a big difference for our planet and future generations. Please share this episode with your friends and family, and don't forget to join us next time for another interesting topic. Until then, take care of yourselves, drink plenty of water, and goodbye from both of us.